Hey guys, alright, so for this set of notes, we're going to learn about something called rearranging equations. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide my little box right there. Alright, and let's give this a shot now. Oops, and we'll choose, I like that size. Alright, so like I said, today's notes are called Rearranging Equations. All right, now what does that mean, rearranging equations? All right, so the goal of today's notes is going to be I can rearrange an equation to get one variable by itself. All right, and we're going to work off of an example. So the example that I'm going to give you, and we'll go through at the end here, after I give you the steps, we'll go through this example. So the example is going to be y equals mx plus b. And the kind of thing that you're going to be able to do, and I'll box that in. Let's box it in red. That'll be awesome. Yeah. All right. So the kind of thing that you'll be able to do is if I ask you, hey, figure out what m is. So I'm going to give you y, and I'm going to give you x, and I'm going to give you b. I want you to figure out what m has to be. Well, that's something that can be a little bit complicated for us, but if we could change the order of this around so that m was over here by itself, well, then that might make it a lot easier. So that's the kind of thing that we're going to try and do with this set of notes. Rearrange an equation to get one variable by itself. Now, before we get started, I want to give you a definition, okay? So definition. We are going to use this word operations. Now, operations sounds like it could be complicated. Maybe it's something doctors do. No, that's not it, okay? Here's what operations is: just adding, subtracting. Let's do multiplying first. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Now, I know we don't use those symbols in algebra now, but just for the simplicity of this definition, we'll use multiplying and dividing like that. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Oh, yeah, all right, there we go. I'm going to slide this down, slide that up. Okay, so we're going to use those words, operations. So there's, whenever we want to do this whole process, we're going to start off with step one. Okay, step one is going to be this: decide which variable you want to get by itself. Okay, so in our example up here, y equals mx plus b, this one right here, we've already finished that number one. We've already done number one, and we said we want m by itself. All right, and that's going to change depending on the problem. All right, so we've got, got to put me back. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got number one, decide which variable you want to get by itself. Now, number two is when we actually start doing stuff, okay? Number two is going to be this: remove anything that is being added or subtracted by using the opposite operation. Operation. Ooh, that was slick. That's a great little A. All right, now I might be spelling operation wrong. I don't know. I don't care. All right, so again, really sorry for that handwriting, but this says, okay, remove anything that is being added or subtracted by using the opposite operation. Okay, I'm going to explain what that means in a second. After I finish with step 3, I want you to get all this stuff written down first, and then we'll explain what it means by using y equals mx plus b. Okay, so there's my first 2 steps, and step 3 is going to be really similar, okay? So it's going to be remove anything that is being multiplied or divided by using the opposite operation. Okay, now let's figure out what the heck all that means, Mr. McSparron. All right, we'll put me way down there. And I'm back. There I am. Okay, so let's do these steps on y equals mx plus b. Now, if you look up on your sheet, it says first we have to decide which one we're going to get by itself. Well, I know that. I'm going to get m by itself. Now, step 2 says I have to remove anything that's being added or subtracted. Now, that means anything that's being added or subtracted to m. So am I adding anything onto m, or am I subtracting anything from m? The answer here is yeah, I'm adding a b onto this m. Now, I know this x is here, but we're not going to worry about that yet because step 2 just says deal with addition or subtraction. Now, to get rid of b, I have to do the opposite of b. And since this is adding b, the opposite thing would be to subtract a b. Okay? So if anything we do on one side, we also have to do on the other side of the equal sign. And if it helps you to do this, that's okay. You can do that. All right. So now, this is what's a lot different because you guys are used to this being a number and this being a number, right? So we would do like 6 minus 3 and it would equal 3, but now it's y minus b. Well, here's all you do. Just write out y minus b exactly the way that I just said it. It's written just like it sounds. Y minus b. Because I can't combine them together, so I just leave them separate, y minus b. Now, b minus b makes these things cancel out. So now I've got mx. All right, so let's remember now, I'm trying to get m by itself. I just did step 2. Now step 3 says to remove anything that's being multiplied or divided by doing the opposite operation. Well, now I see that I've got an x that's being multiplied here. So I want to get rid of that x by doing the opposite. And what is the opposite? So this is multiplication, we said. What's the opposite of multiplication? That's right, it's division. So I'm going to divide by x. Since I was multiplying by x up on top, I'm going to divide by x down here on the bottom. Now again, anything I do on one side has to be done on the other. So I got to divide by x on the other side. All right, now watch what happens here. Okay? I end up with m. Oops, I'm not going to do that yet. Over on this side on the right, I end up with m all by itself because my x's canceled each other out. Now over on the left side, you say, man, y minus b divided by x? Yeah, that's all it is, guys. It's just y minus b divided by x. Now when I go to rewrite this for my final answer, what I want to do is just, let's go ahead and put that m over on the left side. So I'm just going to flip-flop these two things. So I'm going to say the final answer is m equals y minus b divided by x. And now I've accomplished my goal from the very beginning. If you look back up at the top, it says, can I rearrange this thing so that I can get a variable by itself? And that's what I did. I got the m all by itself. And what's nice now is that if they give me a problem that asks me to solve for m, and they give me y, b, and x, all I have to do is put these numbers into my calculator, and I automatically have m. All right, guys. Thanks for taking notes. Now you're going to try the next thing.